Here's some of what's heading your way tonight on your News at 9. COVID-19 put a Joplin woman in a hospital bed on a ventilator for months, but she fought back and is now returning home.
Students across the 4 states are in their final stretch of high school. I'm Zach Dodge with what's being done to make sure everyone can attend graduation ceremonies. Coming up.
And a groundbreaking is held in Oswego for a new clinic. Doug Heddy's got your forecast. Jacob Leonard has sports. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Warner. The KBI and Coffeyville Police provide an update on a death investigation, and they've now confirmed it's a homicide. Officers yesterday conducted a welfare check and found a deceased man in his home at 1709 South Spruce Street. The man has not yet been identified. Authorities arrested a suspect, though. Formal charges have not yet been filed. Hundreds of high school students are getting ready to graduate across the area, something they've all earned after a year that was made tough by the pandemic. KOAM's Zach Dodge has how excited some of them are and what they're doing to make sure everyone can attend.
Diamond seniors Emily Metter and JC Starks are leaving their mark all over the principal's car.
We picked Principal's Day to do our senior prank, so it was like a all 2-in-1 kind of thing. So we decided to sticky note his car.
In the year with a sticky note bang.
43 students in Diamond will be walking across the stage in only a week. So they're in the final stretch and don't want to see anyone get quarantined and have to miss it.
When families or students or parents see big events down the road, I think they're maybe a little more diligent in staying socially distanced from people, staying away from big public events. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't have any of that happen.
In Joplin, more than 400 students are graduating, so if anyone has to be quarantined, the school wouldn't be able to postpone. Senior Emma Anthony is making sure that doesn't happen to her.
Watching like big areas with people, trying to keep my mask on when I can. Staying away from people I don't necessarily have to be around.
Just, stay safe, don't do anything silly that would jeopardize, you participating in graduation, and they won't. I think seniors are super excited.
Menor and Starks aren't taking the moment for granted, especially after seeing the last graduating class have to wait for their graduation.
I'm so very thankful that we have gotten through all the steps this year in order for us to have a graduation in time.
It's always been the moment I've looked up to. I have 2 older sisters. I got to watch them walk down on the last one, and I'm so ready.
In Diamond and Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Joplin's graduation will be on May 16th in the high school gym, the Friday night before they plan on holding a drive-through ceremony since it was so popular last year. Well, the Jasper County Health Department is reporting another COVID-19 related death. The patient was a man in his 50s. The latest death brings the county's total to 156. Well, a Joplin woman who wasn't expected to survive a severe case of COVID-19 returned home today for the first time in months. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky has more on her recovery.
After being on life support for months, surviving a stroke, and relying on a feeding tube, Jen Parks is ready to start living life again. The Joplin resident contracted COVID-19 in November and suffered severe symptoms.
She was on a ventilator for 3 months, and she was in intensive care for, since November. She was in intensive care. They didn't think she'd make it.
And the fact that she survived a case of COVID this severe is nothing short of a miracle.
She didn't know if she was going to walk. She didn't know what was going to happen.
Now she's back home for the first time since November. To commemorate this day, friends, family, and staff from God's Resort surprised the survivor with signs and prayers.
It's wonderful. Without people praying for me and without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
She says her loved ones were told she had a low chance of surviving at all.
It was rough. They didn't think the doctors told them I wasn't gonna live, to give up on me, but my mom wouldn't give up and my church family wouldn't give up.
After leaving the ICU, Parks was sent to a nursing home to begin her journey to recovery.
I didn't think I'd ever walk out of the nursing home. I didn't think I'd ever be able to walk.
Now, she's working toward her goal of being able to fully walk using a walker, and eventually to get back to normal life.
To drive, because my driver's license on 11/11/2020 expired, and I was supposed to get a new driver's license. Ultimately, I want to go back to work.
In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Now, Parks will be sharing her full story with the community on May 16th at God's Resort. It was a beautiful day. If it was a weekend, it'd be a good time for grilling some hot dogs and hamburgers, but it's a Friday.
Hey, Fridays are good for everybody, whether the weather is good or bad, but today was great. 81 for an afternoon high. 74 is our average high, and I think for tomorrow our temperatures are going to be very similar. We're just going to have a lot of clouds, so right around 80 degrees. Clear skies right now. Nothing is going on across the entire Central Plains. You have to actually travel off toward the south to even find any clouds. Here's our next storm system down through parts of Texas, and this will start to affect us tomorrow night and then into Sunday. And we do have some severe threats coming up, so we're going to be breaking that down for you here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thank you so much. Well, Labette health officials hosted a groundbreaking ceremony in Oswego today. The health provider is constructing a new family clinic and express care center. Officials say the new clinic will treat conditions including sinus infections, respiratory problems, and minor injuries.
A couple of years ago, there was a critical access hospital located here in Oswego that served the Oswego-Chetopa general area, and it closed. And so immediately we worked with the community, worked with the leaders, worked with Governor Kelly and Lieutenant Governor Tolan, and began a process to be here today to reopen local healthcare services for the southern portion of Labette County.
Construction is expected to be completed in September. President Biden making a push for his American Jobs Plan with a stop in Philadelphia today, commemorating the 50th anniversary of Amtrak. The president believes the service is critical for how the country will travel in the future. Fox's Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington.
President Biden flying to Philadelphia to help Amtrak celebrate their 50th anniversary at 30th Street Station.
That Amtrak doesn't just carry us from one place to another, it opens up enormous possibilities.
He was known during his time as a senator and vice president as Amtrak Joe for being a regular rider between D.C. and his home in Delaware. Friday's event was also a chance for him to push his infrastructure bill, the $2.3 trillion American Jobs Plan, which would include money to strengthen the nation's rail system. Amtrak says it will add dozens of new routes over the next decade plus and improve service on existing routes.
We have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to position Amtrak and rail, and intercity rail as well, in general, to play a central role in our transformation and transportation economic future. To make investments that can help America get back on track, no pun intended.
While Republicans agree that things like trains, roads, and airports need updating through an infrastructure bill, they say the president's plan goes off the rails by considering climate issues and Medicare part of infrastructure. The administration says the infrastructure bill would be paid for by the Made in America tax plan over the next 15 years by raising the corporate tax rate and closing loopholes. The White House says they will not raise taxes on those making under $400,000 per year.
They say only the corporations are going to pay for this, and only the rich are going to pay for it. Okay, if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you.
President Biden's tour to sell his proposed spending plans doesn't end in Philly. He'll be in Virginia on Monday. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
We take this time now to honor another four-state hero. Thomas Servart served in the U.S. Air Force. The Walnut, Kansas native was stationed in England. And we salute Senior Airman Thomas Servart, tonight's four-state hero. Well, Doug is up next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, Missouri Southern introduces Rob Mallory as the school's new athletic director. We'll hear from Mallory in sports.
It definitely turned out to be a great Wednesday. No, it's not Wednesday, it's Friday. I want to get into the weekend. Friday for us today. We have plenty of sunshine, temperatures fantastic as we went right around 80, 81. during the afternoon. Great shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, allergies. They've been on the high side. They did drop off a little bit yesterday due to the rain, but right back up there today, a 10 out of 10, a 10 out of 10 once again tomorrow. These are mainly the tree allergies, the grass as well, and these are going to stay kind of on the high side over the next few days. 67 in Fort Scott, 64 in Parsons, 67 in Miami, Pitt, 66, 68 in Neosho. Temperatures will drop back mid-50s later on tonight. The winds are fairly light. They're going to increase just a bit out of the south as we head into the daytime hours tomorrow. So a little bit on the breezy side, but clear skies. Nothing is going on here. In fact, nothing is really going on across the entire Central Plains. If you head south, you can see some rain across parts of Texas. In fact, if you look at the upper levels, you can see the spin right across western Texas. It's a cutoff low. Jet stream's up here, so it's cut off from the jet. So it's slowly going to meander its way toward us over the next couple days. Let's go through time. You can see it kind of lifts into Texas, kind of rides up toward the north, makes it into our neck of the woods by Sunday, and then it will pass through. And then right behind it, we have another system that will drop in that will give us showers and thunderstorms on Monday, even into Tuesday. So that's when it starts to get a little bit active. But at least until then, we look pretty good. Look at tonight, mid-50s. We get a few high clouds in here late tonight. By the noon hour, we're going to be well into the 70s. And then again, most of us are going to go right around 80 degrees. So here's your forecast for you tomorrow. We'll start at 55, 74 by noon, and a high temp right around 80. A little breezy, south winds at 10 to 20. Tomorrow night, we may get a shower in here late, so we'll watch that. And then I think on Sunday, we'll have some hit and miss pop-up showers and thunderstorms, especially as we work into the afternoon. That system pulls by, then a cold front slides in by the time we head into Monday. So with this, we could get some showers and thunderstorms, and some of those could be strong, possibly severe. So we need to keep our eyes on that over the next couple days. 80 tomorrow, 75 Sunday, 83 on Monday. We do cool down a bit by the middle part of next week, but our temperatures are going to be great over the next couple days. All right, let's look at severe weather threat. So we have a low threat on Monday, a low threat next Saturday. Then it ramps up. Here's the 9th, here's the 10th, here's the 12th, 16th, 17th, 18th. So our severe 20th, our severe weather chances really start to rise as we head into the next couple weeks. We're almost into May, so we want to make sure that we keep an eye to the sky in the month of May.
We're getting right into the middle of that storm season around here, so I know
It's
you'll be
kinda
watching
wild.
it. It does. Doug, thank you so much. Coming up, restaurants are now able to register for a fund to help them to recover from the pandemic. We'll have that and more in the Fox Business Brief. Funerals are underway in Israel, where at least 45 people were crushed to death in a stampede at a religious festival. 4 of the dead are U.S. citizens. Authorities say about another 150 people were injured. Witnesses say a crowd packed into a narrow walkway, triggering a stampede when some people slipped on metal stairs. Some are blaming the police for the stampede, saying they blocked off an important alleyway. Well, the cruise industry is ready to set sail. Americans are feeling confident about their personal finances, and technology is helping to deliver some tasty treats. Fox's Lillian Wu has these stories and more in today's Fox Business Brief.
The CDC giving the green light to the cruise industry, which can resume U.S. operations starting July 1st. This following a more than year-long shutdown due to the pandemic. Ships may begin limited sailings as long as 98% of the crew and 95% of passengers are fully vaccinated. More than half of Americans say their finances have improved over the last year. That according to the results of a new Gallup poll. 57% of Americans say their finances are in better shape now than when the pandemic began. That's an 8-point increase from April 2020. And the most optimistic Americans have been about their personal finances in the last 18 years. Starting today, restaurants looking to recover financially from the coronavirus pandemic will be able to register for the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. The $28.6 billion program is an effort from the Small Business Administration to help those in the food service industry hit hard by the pandemic. The program, part of the Biden administration's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package, signed into law last month. And the Girl Scouts are ready to drop in with their new drone delivery technology. The Girl Scouts in Virginia teaming up with Wing, a Google drone and navigation company. The drones can carry small packages weighing in at just over 3 pounds. Wing has committed to helping the Virginia Girl Scouts deliver 3,000 boxes of cookies through the end of May. Well, for more stories, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm Lillian Wu.
Well, just ahead, concerns as the country continues to reopen.
New COVID-19 shutdowns go into effect in some parts of the country while others eye a full reopening. I'm Jonathan Seri in Atlanta. I'll have details coming up.
An increase in the number of vaccinations is driving reopenings in parts of the country. This coming as health experts raise concerns that new outdoor mask guidance could contribute to vaccine hesitancy. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Seri has more.
Some Americans are facing new COVID-19 shutdowns. Today, Oregon will ban indoor dining in parts of the state as hospitalizations rise. New restrictions are also expected in Washington state next week. But it's a different situation on the East Coast, where New York City is making plans to fully reopen on July 1st.
I'm ready. I'm vaccinated. Everyone I know is vaccinated. It's so easy to get vaccinations now.
We would like the city to thrive again.
Mayor Bill de Blasio cited increased vaccinations as a reason for the reopening. More than half of U.S. adults have gotten at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, and roughly 40% are fully vaccinated.
What we've seen in the last weeks has been stunning progress in terms of reducing the levels of COVID, greatly increasing the numbers of vaccinations.
But there are concerns the CDC's new outdoor mask guidance could contribute to vaccine hesitancy. The changes announced this week allow for fully vaccinated people to go without masks outdoors unless in a crowd. But some health experts argue the guidelines don't offer a strong enough incentive for people hesitant to get a shot. Today, President Biden explained why he'll continue to wear a mask in public.
It's making sure that your wife, your children, if in fact they haven't been vaccinated, making sure that they're not going to get sick.
The CDC recommends fully vaccinated people continue wearing masks in indoor public gatherings. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
More colleges and universities may be requiring students to have vaccinations when returning in the fall. The New York Times report says more than 100 colleges may make the vaccine shot a mandatory requirement. The list continues to expand as college administrators consider the necessity of the shots for on-campus safety. Many of those colleges making the mandatory requirement are in coastal and populated areas. Well, coming up, we'll check out what archaeologists in Egypt found inside more than 100 tombs. Egyptian archaeologists have unearthed 110 ancient tombs near the Nile Delta. They date back to 3 civilizations, the oldest from over 5,000 years ago. According to the Antiquities Ministry, the discovery includes 68 oval-shaped pits cut into the sandy ground containing the remains of people buried in a squatting position. Archaeologists also found the remains of a baby buried inside a pottery vase. Other discoveries on the site include pots, prayers written on plates, ovens, stoves, remnants of brick buildings, crockery, amulets, and earrings. We've got 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way.
Scammon, Kansas may not be the biggest town in the 4-state area, but folks are turning out for the grand opening of the town's new event center. Details are coming up.
Plus, how students at Miami High School are supporting their classmate battling Huntington's disease. Scammon, Kansas is a small town in Cherokee County celebrating a new downtown attraction this evening. KOAM's Mike Mahoney checked out the grand opening of the Scammon Event Center and learned why the town's residents are so excited.
I love it. Scammon needs something like this.
Scammon, Kansas is a town with around 600 residents, and quite a few of them can be found at the hottest Friday night ticket in town. This building was originally a restaurant, but after going dormant for 5 years, it's now up and running as the town's new event center, thanks to owner Jeff Sandness.
Well, I've always liked Scammon. I think it is a special little town in the area, as little towns go.
Tonight's attendees got to enjoy food from Chicken Annie's and a Scammon favorite, Josie's, while also enjoying drink specials and live music. Sandness says that's just a taste of what's to come.
We've already booked some weddings this summer. We have a pancake feed planned. We have a brunch planned. So we look to do quite a bit of live music.
And that's music to the ears of many Scammon and other nearby residents who now have something new to do in their own backyards.
I live 4 blocks away. I could walk down here, and like you said, it's close. We don't have to go out of the town and stuff. So really gonna enjoy it.
In Scammon, Kansas, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Gotta love that poster there. Well, there's still time to check out the live music and drink specials at the Scammon Event Center grand opening. The party lasts until 11:30 this evening. Miami High School students all week were fundraising to support one of their classmates. Holden Proctor is a junior at MHS and has Huntington's disease. The Student Council wanted to support Holden, so they hosted Wish Week to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Holden doesn't have his wish exactly nailed down yet, but would like a personalized man cave.
Flat screen TV and a screen projector and a PlayStation and a Post Malone poster and Post Malone pillows and a hoodie and Saints stuff.
Talk about a great list. In total, the students raised more than $9,000. Well, CASA of Northeast Oklahoma hosted their Cherish the Children Cruise Night in Miami this evening. The event was made special by a total of 7 art installations along Main Street. The cruise benefits Ottawa County's abused and neglected children.
We're just trying to raise awareness of this issue. You know, child abuse and neglect is a blight on our community. So it's kind of hard for us to talk about it because people get upset about it very often. So this is kind of a fun, non-threatening way to do that.
A number of bands were also on hand to perform for the cruise. Well, it's no secret, the Ozarks can be absolutely breathtaking. There's plenty of natural beauty to be seen both above ground and below. Our next 4-state staycation takes us to McDonald County, Missouri, where a local family unearthed a hidden gem. KOAM photojournalist Liam Mandelbaum gives us an inside look.
We are in Bluff Dwellers Cave, just south of Knoll, Missouri. I was actually a caver before I became a geologist. I loved caving as a young adult, and I had already earned a business management degree, but I thought, you know what, I love caves enough, I want this to be my career. So I didn't think that I'd end up in a show cave, but honestly it's an amazing place to be because I get to share my passions with the whole world, and that's really nice. So this cave has been in the family for over 100 years, although they didn't know they had it for all that time. It was discovered in 1925 on the family's land, and then they opened it for tours in 1927, and we've been open ever since, still owned by the same family. Arthur Browning had noticed a small hole on top of a hill where he could see steam in the winter and cool breezes in the summer. And in 1925, they were building a highway which was going to cut right through all of Arthur's farmland. And the gentlemen who were surveying for that highway asked him about caves, and he mentioned that hole, and they opened it up enough that they could squeeze in on their bellies, and well, the rest, as we say, is history. We opened for tours in 1927. So generally we have people come visit, so we're interacting with guests. They go through our museum, which is full of geology from all over the world actually, so it's a really neat educational museum. And then they take an hour-long tour of our cave. So I have tour guides that are well-versed in the cave's history, geology, biology, and they take people through the cave and show them a world that most people don't get to see every day. And there's just a little bit of everything for everyone here.
Well, if you're interested in checking out Bluff Dwellers Cave for yourself, it's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Admission runs $20 for people 12 and up or $10 for ages 4 to 11. We've got more information on our morning show page at KOAMNewsNow.com. A little bit later, a look at why grocery prices are rising.
The economy is making strides, but more Americans are starting to feel a strain on their wallets. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer with more on what's causing the cost of consumer goods to skyrocket.
Well, it turned out to be a really good day for us today. Temperature is fantastic into lower 80s, and we have plenty of sunshine across the region. Great shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Now, the allergies have been high. Mainly tree allergies, grass, pollen. But on a scale of 1 to 10, today's a 10, tomorrow's a 10. The allergies are going to stay decently high, at least all the way through the weekend. Temperature is pretty good right now, 65 Nevada, Pitt. We have 64 in Parsons, 65 Miami, 69 in Neosho. We'll drop back into the mid-50s later on tonight. The winds are fairly light. They're out of the south, but these will start to pick up a little bit as we go through the overnight hours tonight. It's also going to be, it's not going to be windy. Tomorrow's going to be breezy. We're going to have south winds at about 10 to 20, but clear skies, nothing going on across the entire Central Plains. In fact, you have to travel to the south before you find really any clouds, showers, or thunderstorms, but we do have a wave across western parts of Texas. That's what's producing this rain to our south, but this wave, a little cutoff low, will slowly mosey on up into the Central Plains over the next couple days, and that will give us some rain chances by the time we head into late tomorrow night, also on Sunday, and really continuing into next week because we have two waves. So here comes wave number 1. This is going to be on Sunday. This will give us some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Any severe weather probably off to our south and to our east. Right behind it, back to the west, here comes the next wave, and this is going to drop in on Monday into Tuesday, giving us chances for showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe, so we need to watch that by early next week. Now, until then, we look okay. We'll get a few high clouds in here late tonight, but in general, looks pretty good. Through the morning hours, we'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be thin clouds, so it's still going to be a great day. Southerly winds, temperature is fantastic. Here's your day planner for you. We'll start at 55, 74 by noon, and a high temp of 80. South winds at about 10 to 20. So it is going to be a little bit on the breezy side. Tomorrow night, a lot of clouds. We may get a random shower or two in here late. And then on Sunday, especially late morning into the early afternoon, we'll start to get a few scattered little thunderstorms. Heaviest is going to stay to our east, but there are going to be some showers and thunderstorms out there. That wave pulls through. A cold front drops in on Monday. This will give us chances for showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong or severe. On the back side of the system, just some leftover showers by Tuesday. Wednesday looks good. We'll have additional chances for rain working in on Thursday, and then mainly Friday looks pretty good, and then more thunderstorms by next weekend. So it gets pretty active. All right, let's go 80 tomorrow, 75 Sunday, 83 on Monday, and then we cool down just a bit. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Not a bad week overall, but like you say, a little bit active, and it is that time of year.
Yeah, it is. Almost May.
That's true. It's right around the corner. Yeah. Doug, thank you so much. Well, athletes from several area schools today competed at Carl Junction. Special Olympics Missouri hosted the Southwest Area Track and Field event at CJ. Some of the events include relays and high jump. Well, coming up in sports, Pitt State football partners with Kansas Special Olympics to host Victory Day at Carney Smith Stadium. We'll have those details. Plus, it's playoff time for Quapaw baseball. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, it's playoff time for the Quapaw High School baseball team. The Wildcats are at home today with a by-district matchup against Stratford. It's a best-of-3 series with the first 2 games tonight. In Game 1, Deacon Schapp out to left. Gets the bounce. Matt Lovell and Ethan Mate both score. It's 5-0 after 3 innings. Stratford up now. Braylon King gets it to the right field corner. That puts Stratford on the board with 2 runs coming in to score. Wildcats, though, not slowing down. Schapp again, back up the middle. Brings home Cohen Myrick. Quapaw makes it 12-2 in the 6th to end the game early. Wildcats start the series with a win, but in Game 2, Quapaw not able to finish the series. They fall in that one 7-5. 2 teams will meet tomorrow in Game 3, with the winner moving on to regionals. Missouri Southern introduces Rob Mallory as the school's new athletic director at a press conference today. Mallory is the 6th athletic director in school history. He comes over from Kentucky Wesleyan, where he previously served as athletic director before being promoted to vice president of intercollegiate athletics. Mallory's first official day on the job at Southern will be July 1st.
Obviously, we want to win. Let's not shy away from our desire to win. I think that's a big reason why we do what we do. So I want all of our teams to have competitive success, but I think it's critically important that we're providing a first-class student-athlete experience on both the student side and the athletic side for our student-athletes.
Pittsburgh State football partners with Kansas Special Olympics to hold Victory Day at Kearney Smith Stadium today. Now it's a chance for the Special Olympics athletes to get the game day experience at PSU with one-on-one time with coaches and players. Now the athletes got their own jerseys this afternoon, and of course, like every game day in the jungle, they started with the Gorilla Walk into Kearney Smith Stadium. After that, it was time to hit the field. Athletes worked one-on-one with Pitt State players, working through drills and even scoring a few touchdowns.
Some of these kids will never get another opportunity like this again, so I'm glad we get to put on something like this to give them, just a day just to be a superhero or whatever they think they want to be.
We just want to put a smile on their face and let them enjoy the day and have fun. And it's such a special day, not only for the participants, but also for the team. Our guys get to build lifelong relationships with some kids that don't have the opportunity to play football.
To the track now, local schools competing in Girard today at the Optimist Club Invitational. Now, girls long jump here, Gracie Peterson getting it done on her home field. She wins it with a mark of 16 feet, 8 3/4 of an inch. A boys high jump now, Marion Ryan, the only one to clear 6'2" today. That's a PR for Ryan, good enough to win it this afternoon. A cool story here, Chanute's Quentin Harris, his first time competing in the long jump. He wins it with a leap of 20 feet, 9 1/4 inches. Now finally, big day for Pittsburgh's Alacia Harris. She wins the triple jump by a mile. I mean, not literally a mile. She just, won it by a long ways. 35 feet, 1 1/2 inches. That is a new personal best for the Pittsburgh sophomore. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Well, lumber prices aren't the only things going up. You may want to start clipping coupons as more companies say inflation, kinks in the supply chain, and rising production costs are going to continue to drive up the cost of consumer goods. Fox News correspondent Ashley Strohmeyer reports.
The International Monetary Fund is now estimating our economy will grow at a rate of more than 6% this year.
The economy is starting to rebound, but as unemployment numbers fell last week to the lowest point since the start of the pandemic, the cost of living is only going up as grocery bills for many Americans are getting steeper.
I'm noticing it in my pocketbook.
The overall cost of consumer goods last month increased by 0.6%, the largest amount in almost a decade. This comes as inflation rates rose by almost 3% throughout 2020.
Last couple of weeks I see is the eggs, everything is going up.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the average price of bread is now about $1.53. That's up 16 cents from last year. A gallon of milk is up by 10 cents. Beef is up 27 and a dozen eggs are up by 10. Experts say the reason lies in higher gas prices and an increase in demand for items now that the country is opening back up. Companies facing greater production and shipping expenses are also jacking up prices to cover their bottom line. Coca-Cola, General Mills, Procter & Gamble, and more are telling customers to prepare for more prices to increase throughout this year and into 2022.
I think it's a storm that's been coming, to be quite honest with you. You know, we've been dealing with supply demand issues since the beginning of the pandemic.
And here's a money-saving tip. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says food inflation will be greater at restaurants than if you bought food from a grocery store. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Well, coming up, a television serial killer makes his return to the small screen. We'll have that and more Hollywood news after the break. A look at Dexter's return and Netflix's latest adventure. That and more in today's Hollywood Nation. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Billboard's finalists are announced, an adventure starts, and Mr. Morgan returns in the Hollywood Nation. Understand me now. A new teaser for Showtime's Dexter revival gives fans a look at the man himself. Michael C. Hall returns as Dexter, the blood spatter analyst by day, serial killer by night, now lumberjack. Clearly still far from Miami, Dexter gazes at snow-filled woods as Misunderstood plays him into frame, and he gives us a smirk. The limited series revival of Dexter airs this fall.
No one knew which came first.
Netflix released a first look at the adventure series Sweet Tooth, based on the DC comic books. Its story, narrated by James Brolin, set after the Great Crumble, follows a hybrid deer boy who forms an unlikely bond with a wandering loner. The two explore the world left behind while searching for the meaning of home. Sweet Tooth is executive produced by Susan Downey and Robert Downey Jr. and debuts on the streamer June 4th. And finalists for the 2021 Billboard Music Awards have been revealed. The Weeknd leads the way with 16 nods, while DaBaby follows with 11. The late rapper Pop Smoke has 10 posthumous nominations. Gabby Barrett, a first-time finalist, has 9 and is the most nominated female artist this year. These musical honors will be handed out live from LA May 23rd. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our news for now. Our next news time, just a couple of minutes on the KOAM News at 10. We're going to leave you tonight with video of animals at a zoo in Poland. If you like to move it, you can move it now. And thanks for making us part of your night.